Okay, so I forgot to start recording, but yeah, we're on now recording. So thank you everyone for joining us on this sixth edition of the Hood of Chat series. Thank you for everyone who just keeps joining us. I noticed Kamal always joins us from Scotland. Thank you very much for just coming around and gaining a lot of knowledge here. And I'm sure sharing with your immediate circle. I see Kenobi, Jonathan, I see Nasser, I see Olakosi, I see Bumi, I see Sandra, I see Stephen, I see Tope, I see a lot of us here. Welcome, welcome once again to another very enlightening edition of Hood of Chat series. Before I bring on board a mysterious guest speaker, I just want to first take the time to talk about what we're doing. This webinar is hosted by Nogo for Maga. It's an initiative of CyberSafe Foundation. So if you were looking to write us a check, you'll be writing it to CyberSafe Foundation. And No For Maga is just a child of CyberSafe Foundation. I just wanted to put that out there again, so you sort of understand the way we run as a structure. So today's webinar is about, the human error, how cyber criminals use deception and malware. And I'll be taking us through this wonderful series, wonderful conversation, of course, in the company of someone awesome to speak about this and to show, because we are about showing. We're a show and tell more kind of webinar. So we all know that as coronavirus pandemic rages on, cyber criminals are not resting on their oars at all. They see opportunities, they seek to take full advantages of the situation and the chaos that coronavirus is creating. And in that typical fashion of not letting a tragedy go to waste, cyber criminals have been busy crafting coronavirus-themed malware and devising ingenious ways to deliver them to their targets. A target could be you, it could be me. Now, this is evidenced by reports from security firms such as RiskIQ that disclosed that about 65,500 suspicious domains related to coronavirus were opened within a span of 3 days. Wow. Also, TrendMicro has found 81,315 malicious files in various coronavirus-themed phishing campaigns since the beginning of the year. Those are amazing stats to take note of. Now, here's the sixth episode, which is the one we're in now, is seeking to explore the ways malicious actors are taking advantage of the coronavirus pandemic to trick users into downloading malware on their devices. Now, this webinar, we are going to, of course, discuss and provide more clarity on how malware is used side by side with social engineering. Now, social engineering, in very simple terms, is the way cyber criminals manipulate people into taking actions or divulging confidential information. So together with malware, they are able to do quite a lot of havoc. So in this series, or rather in this episode, we're going to be explaining what a malware is. We're going to be providing an overview of various types of malware. We'll be discussing popular malware delivery methods, phishing emails, drive-by downloads. Now, trust me, that's just big grammar. We're going to break it down. We're breaking it down. Remote desktop protocol, USB, and removable media, like we know it. There are all ways that malware can be delivered. So when we think about malware, we always think about just mails. There are a lot of other ways. Even through social media, I must warn you. So we're going to be focusing, however, I'm going to be focusing on how phishing emails can be delivered, can be a means, or rather, in which malicious email attachments can, usher in malware. And of course, we're going to be showing you how to spot them. We're also going to be stating the common file types used as malware, that malware can be attached in, and just camouflage and hidden. We're going to be showing you a demo of how a malicious email attachment can be used, and then what happens when the user downloads it. So again, this is actual thing, and how users can, of course, protect themselves in general, because of course, from malicious emails in particular. So we are not leaving you hopeless and helpless. We know that this is really something that is a burning issue for a lot of people. But what we also want to make you know and understand is that you are not helpless. You definitely have ways to protect yourself, and that's what we're going to be showing you. While we show you the hazards, we're also big on equally showing you the way out. And to take this beautiful topic with me, a very interesting topic with me, is nobody else but Mo. I call it Mo. So because we are going to try to protect his mysterious self, the guy is a bad good guy, if I was to put it that way. Mo, I'm going to leave it to you if you want to say your full name, but Mo is going to be taking us on this journey and showing us a whole lot more. So let's make welcome in the comment section, in the hood of chat, lively manner. Let's just make welcome Mo as he comes on to just speak to us and just share from his wealth of knowledge. Please let's just show him some love in the comment section and just say welcome to him. Mo, unmute your mic and just start giving us buzz boosts.
Hi, confidence. Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome.
Okay. My name is Mohammed. Let's leave it at that. And I will be starting off with the definition of malware. Like, let's get to know what malware is before we now enter into the demo on how it works and how we can prevent and protect ourselves from it. So I have a slide prepared here, so let me get it up and we'll go from there. Okay. Can everybody see my screen? So we're going to start with malware.
Yes, we can see your screen.
What is malware? Basic methods. Okay. Then we talk about prevention tips too. So malware. Malware is basically a malicious software that's installed on your device and performs unauthorized tasks. Like it could download files, it could get your keystrokes, it could slow down your computer, anything that just causes your privacy to be violated basically online is a malware. Okay. It's also a set of instructions that cause system security policies to be violated, like I said. What types of malware do we have? Viruses are types of malware. Viruses are computer programs which infect files and make modifications to hardware and operating systems, like I said. They're types of malware. So basically, a malware is anything that does actions that are not authorized on the system. Anything that you do not want your system to do, but it does, it's a malware. Then we also have worms. Worms are types of malware that are made in a way to spread rapidly and slow down your system or slow down your network. When I mean spread rapidly, like if a worm is installed on your system and your system is connected to a network, automatically that worm is going to spread to other systems on the network. That is the job of a worm. Then we also have the Trojans. Trojans are like the worst of the malware because Trojans open backdoors on your systems. Trojans give them a key to your system. So if they have a Trojan installed on your system, then they can basically do anything they want. They can install keyloggers, they can get your password, they can view your secured files, and do very many nasty things on your system. We also have ransomware. Some years ago, ransomware became very popular with the WannaCry. Basically, ransomware infects your computers with the intention of encrypting your most important data, and they tell you have to pay a ransom before you can get your data back. We also have two other basically lesser types of malware called spyware and adware. Spyware could be keyloggers. They're installed without your permission, and their own job is just to monitor your activity on the internet and transmit information or some kind of information to a third party. Then we have the adware. Adware is usually you've gone to some website and you're just on the website and an advert pops up, or different kind of adverts pop up and they are telling you to buy this or go to this website or something like that. Those are called adwares. And the only job of those ones is to direct people to websites so they can generate revenue for their creators or for the owners. So next we'll talk about typical malware delivery methods. We're going to concentrate mainly on phishing emails because phishing emails are like, they're the biggest or the most popular delivery method used these days because everybody is online, everybody is on the internet. So everybody receives an email, everybody checks their emails. So phishing is going to be like one of the main ones. And basically the goal of phishing is the theft of sensitive data such as bank accounts or logins or your credit card numbers. And this is achieved by sending fake or bogus emails to the victim. Malwares are delivered through this medium by directing users to malicious websites or directing them to download attached documents. Most times these attached documents are malwares or they contain viruses. Usually in phishing emails, the messages, the topics are very compelling, or the subjects of the emails are very compelling. Like if you are trying to fish like maybe a banker or a salesperson, you might see like a topic with invoice or a proposal. Or these days when virtual meetings and remote meetings are taking place everywhere, they might just put a Zoom meeting, like you've been invited for a Zoom meeting or something like that. Anything that is basically going to make you want to click on it or want to respond to that email. Because cyber criminals are really getting smarter these days. So, and of which these days, like viruses or malwares, they could be of any file type. They could be PDF, they could be Word, they could be zip, they could be PowerPoint. So it's not safe to say that, okay, because this document is PDF, that means it does not contain a virus. Or, oh, this document is Word, that means it does not contain a virus. That is very wrong. So basically, general rule of thumb about phishing emails: if you are prompted to log into a site, if you get an email and they say you should log into this website with your username and password, be very careful. Usually don't respond to it. Rather go to the website, like go to your browser, type in your address yourself. Do not enter your username or your password through any link in an email. It's better for you to go to a browser, open a new browser and type in the address and continue that way. Then if the email is inconsistent, like you might get an email from supposedly your bank and the email address does not correspond. Maybe you use Access Bank and you get an email from a very shady, maybe accessbank@gmail.com. You know Access Bank is not going to send you an email, an official email with a Gmail account. Then the URL too, most of the time the URL are not genuine. So you can make notes of all those easy to detect methods. So other delivery methods include unintentional downloads. Like you'll be trying to download something, you'll be looking for a movie, you could be on a movie website and you try to download something and you think you're downloading a movie, meanwhile you're downloading a virus. Or you see a USB. But it's true. You never know. You think you're downloading a movie and you try and download the latest episode of Insecure or Peaky Blinders, and all of a sudden you are opening yourself to infections. Or you see a USB on the ground or somebody's USB, you borrow somebody's USB or a hard drive. You don't know if there are viruses on top. And you connect it to your system. Obviously, automatically you already have a virus on your system. Then through hacks or breaches, like you could be on a network and the system on the network has already been compromised and you don't know. Like I said, if it's a wormable malware, the fact that a system is already compromised on the network, now one leaves your own system open to attack already. So you have to watch out for stuff like that. Next, let's talk about prevention tips. I'm sorry if I'm rushing, but I have to show you guys the demo of this working. So prevention tips, make sure you have an ad.
Your pace is fine. Your pace is fine. We want to ask a lot of questions. We have questions. They're already coming through. So go ahead, this case here.
Okay. Prevention tips, the most important prevention tip, make sure your updates and your antivirus your antivirus are up to date, your Windows or whatever system you're using, make sure it's up to date, because antivirus, they actually do a very good job in stopping malware. Like they really do a good job. And most of them come with ad blockers and anti-spyware, so like killing two birds with one stone. Then also make sure you use a firewall, because most times some stuff might just bypass your antivirus, but your firewall will be able to check if your network, if some information.
What is a firewall?
A firewall is basically a set of rules that determine inward and outward communication on your system. What I mean is, like a firewall, if you have a firewall set up, you can tell the firewall that I only want communication to go through my system through port 80 and port 443. And 80 and 443 are the ports used for HTTP and HTTPS, which is your normal internet browsing. So a firewall can tell the computer that almost any other port that is going through, do not allow it. So that way you can like block some ports, of which I will show you exactly what I mean when I do the demo.
Awesome.
Why you should block some other ports, why they should not allow some other ports to pass.
And you will show us how to block it.
How to do a firewall. Usually when you set up your firewall, it automatically does all those already. So I'm going to show you how to, it automatically does the basic blocking, except you want to do a network. If you're going to advanced, to those ones are for network guys. Now start doing this specific stuff. Yeah.
That's fine.
And you also should have like a healthy skepticism about email attachments from unknown sources. Like I said, when you get emails from people that are not, even people that you are sure of, because their accounts could be compromised, you don't know. So when you see attachments, just be skeptical. Try to scan them with antivirus software before you download them. Check the links, make sure that everything looks all right. Then do not download software from untrusted sources. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Make sure where you're downloading your software from is a trusted source. Then, like I said, regularly update your operating system and install programs. If you have all your updates installed, you are probably 80% safe. You're definitely not 100% safe, but at least 80% safe. Then also never disclose your personal information. That is the most important one. Like, you go to a website and they ask you for your bank account info or your BVN. Please don't do that. Even the banks will tell you, do not give anybody your BVN. Do not disclose your personal information. Okay, so that is the end of the slide. Now, I should go into the demo, right? Confidence.
Yes, please. We're eager.
Okay. Okay. So, okay. Okay, so what I did was I created a very simple malware, a Trojan. What it does is when installed on your system, when it's installed on your system, it creates a backdoor on your system and gives me access to all your files and information. That is if you download the file and you install it. So I'm going to show you how that works. Okay, so this is the beginning. I created an email, like just to show the phishing. Since everybody is using Zoom these days, everybody is on Zoom.
Okay, sorry, Mo, yeah? Are you intending to show us something here? Because we're still seeing the slides. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Can you see it now?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay. Like I said, I just drafted an email. Since everybody is using Zoom now, Zoom is going to be a very easy way for people that are phishing or cyber criminals to be a very good topic for them to use to phish, because everybody gets emails about meeting invitations and stuff. So I already sent myself an email, and this is the email, basic email. You are invited for a Zoom meeting. Please view the attached file to see details on how to join the meeting. Then meanwhile, on the attacking system, this is the attacking system. I'm going to create a listener, which is basically, I'm going to open this port 444. You can see this IP address. This is my IP address of my system. And this port 444, this is what I was telling you about using a firewall. Like port 444 is not a very common port. So if you had a firewall, usually port 444 should be blocked, like any other port that exactly. But since port 444 isn't blocked, obviously, I can use port 4444. So basically what I did now is to create like a listener, that's what it's called. My system is going to listen for connections on port 444. As simple as that. Then for this, okay, since you want to join the meeting, the email might come from somebody you know, you get. It might come from, exactly, so you might be expecting it. So let's download the meeting, let's download it. I think I've already downloaded it before. Join Zoom meeting. Downloaded it before, so let's open it. So this is it. Like you get this email and you're saying to join the meeting, you click on this link. And to everybody, it might seem harmless because this is typically how Zoom sends an invite. And you click on the link. As you can see in the background, it downloaded a file, join Zoom meeting. Okay, so if you run that file, nothing happens. You just feel nothing happens. But on my own system, it has opened a shell. Now I have access to the Windows system. Let me show you what I mean. I want to show you the desktop. This is all these files and documents are the same files and documents on this Windows 10 system. Just by clicking the link and installing that file, you're giving me access to your system. I want to show you what they have on the desktop. So you can see we have tests, we have Quillis Cloud Agents, we have test.txt. And that is the same thing we have on the desktop here.
Yes, you can see that.
So basically, if you had like secured files and everything, I can read them, I can download them. I can even upload other files. I can upload a keylogger to your system.
Yes, and that's the key thing too, because when you download some malware, it gives opens the door for you to download others. It's like a demon that calls other demons to come into their house.
Exactly. So you see how simple it was to just by downloading one file from a Zoom invite, somebody invited you to join a Zoom meeting, and you click on a file and you download the file, and the person got access to your full system. It's as simple as that. So that is why we have to be careful. So
this is quite good to see as practical as this, because a lot of people, a lot of times when we talk about these things, it sort of always seems like we're speaking over people's heads. But I'm really excited. I'm very happy about this show and tells we do every week, because they sort of bring the practical feel to the way these things actually happen. So do you want to keep going on with this? Are you done with the demo?
No, I'm done with the demo. That's
awesome.
That's it. That's how the Trojan works. That's how the malware works, basically.
So I have some questions to ask you, but before I start asking them, I just want everyone to know that the question and answer button at the bottom of your Windows screen is available to you to send in your questions, and we will have more answer them in the best possible way. So begin sending your questions in. I can see that 2 people have sent in their questions. A couple more people had also sent theirs through the chat. But the best way to send your question so it doesn't get forgotten is through the question and answer button. So Mo, I'm just going to go ahead with the questions I already had for you.
Okay.
Again, just so people can have a very good understanding. Do all computers have firewalls? You've spoken about firewalls a couple of times. So on my laptop, I'm not a techie. I'm just someone who's using technology. Will I have a firewall on my computer, or is something I have to install apart from antivirus? I have to install the firewall. Is that what this is?
Yeah, every computer has a firewall. Like, let me just show you where Windows. If you go to your Windows system and you just type firewall, firewall. Every system has a firewall.
Exactly.
Windows firewall. Every system has a firewall. Most times you just go to search and you see your firewall. Because of this demo, I turned off all the firewalls because it was on. It probably would not have worked, or I have to like work harder. It's still possible to circumvent firewalls. There are still a lot of ways to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it takes a
lot
lot. Yeah.
And that's always also my point, that the whole idea is not to be 100% hack proof, because it's a tall order, especially for the average person. But it's to make yourself a whole lot more difficult to hack, that we aim for with these our weekly webinars. Make sure that people are a whole lot more harder. It's a whole lot more harder to hack the people that come on these weekly webinars. Okay, so awesome. It brings me to my next question. Can a host-based firewall be used in combination with an antivirus product? And which product would you recommend?
Yes, a host-based firewall. Yes, you can use it hand in hand. In fact, some antivirus come with their own firewall.
Yes.
Yeah, there are lots of good antivirus over there. There are lots of good ones.
Can you mention a couple that you recommend?
Nothing is a good one. Avast is a good one.
Okay.
But make sure you don't go for free antivirus.
Awesome.
Like, make sure
the
you actually like pay, for it. Then keep it updated. There are lots of good antivirus. Nothing is a good one. Kaspersky used to be very good till they had their issues. Avast is good. Even Bitdefender is quite good too. Yeah.
Okay, great. So I can see that Steve is joining us from Kenya. Welcome, Steve. I'm excited to have you. Now let me go to my next question. How effective? Okay, you've already answered the question, because I was going to ask you how effective free antivirus products are in protecting against malware, but you've touched on that. So it's important that we sort of put that investment into getting an antivirus. So let me put it this way. Think about it, guys. Like, you have a really nice house you've built, and then you can't pay Malam, or all the people in your building cannot pay Malam 20K, cannot contribute money to pay Malam 20K per month to sort of man the gate. That's sort of what we're talking about. So make sure you buy an antivirus. It's a whole lot better than the free versions, at least according to what Mo has just said on this webinar. So my next question is, what are the signs that a device has been infected with malware?
First of all, your system might become slow. Your system might start doing things that just start doing funny things. Like, you could be using your system and a screen pops up, or another screen pops up, or you're using your mouse and your mouse is going the other way. Your system just start acting funny, basically. It doesn't act the normal way which it should act. You could be trying to open a file, and the file keeps closing, or you're trying to shut down and your system is not shutting down, or you're using your system and it just shuts down itself by itself, or it just restarts by itself. Those are like telltale signs that you have in malware. But the thing about having Trojans, like this one I just showed now, the only way you could find out if you are using it is if you go to your task manager and you check for your running processes. But that is why an antivirus comes in. If you regularly scan your system, if you set your antivirus, you can set your antivirus to auto scan maybe every night, every day, every 12 hours. If you regularly scan your system and you have a good antivirus, you should be okay. You should be good.
Okay, great. So can you just quickly show us a task manager so people know how to access it, whether or not an antivirus is involved? Just quickly show us a task manager.
Okay. Usually, if you right click just down here, if you right click on the status bar, you just see task manager. Like this, the session is still open now. Since I know what I'm looking for, I know what I did. It's a PowerShell script that I used. So let's see if PowerShell is running. And we can see PowerShell is running here, but it's running in the background because of the code. So if I close this, that session should be ended. Yeah, you see, it's closed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So usually when you check, you can see some processes that look funny or that you did not start them. And yeah, those ones are signs of this is not me running this. This should not be running.
So that brings me to my next question. It's the second to the last question before I start taking all of the questions I'm seeing on the chat here. If I notice any of the signs you've mentioned, for example, what immediate action should I take?
You first of all, you scan your system. Your system, your antivirus should be able to remove most malware from your system. But if you still scan it and you still feel like the situation has not been resolved, you could make sure you will have backups. Backups are very important. Make sure you have backups. So once you have your backups, then best thing is to format your system. Like just do a full format of your system. If possible, reinstall the operating system again, because most of these viruses they operate on memory. But the best thing is flash your whole system. Do a full reinstall, then restore your backups.
Interesting. Okay, great. So I'm going to leave my own questions because I see that a lot of people are sending in questions. It's like, I've not seen this number of questions before in any of our webinars I've won. So I'm going to put myself aside and just really take the questions as they're coming in. So the first question, I'm going to take them in the order in which they're coming in. The first question is from Stephen. He's saying, download software from trusted sources. How do you know which sources are trusted and which are not? So how do you know trusted source from one that's not trusted?
Okay, like let's say you want to download a movie. You know what website you want to download your movie from. And you input that website on your browser and you open. It's probably trusted, but you could also check the top of the browser. Like you should check if it's HTTP or HTTPS. I'm not saying that helps you. Like that's because it's HTTPS, then it's a trusted source. But at least it gives you an idea, because most secure websites use HTTPS. So that one is the first sign. Then when they say trusted does not mean whether the website is trusted or not. It means, do you trust the website? Is this the website you want to visit? Like you put on O2 TV series and you go there and you download from O2 TV series. But when you click on a download link, you see it's taking you to another page that is not O2 TV series. That other page that is taking you to is no longer a trusted website to you, because that is not the website you wanted to download from.
Exactly. Okay, great. So I'm going to move to our next question. It's from Emmanuel. Emmanuel is asking, so if I download torrents with a VPN, am I still protected from external breaches?
No. Like if your torrent contains a malware, even if you download it with a VPN, at the end of the day, you still download it to your system. Exactly. And the malware only works when you run or you open whatever file. So as far as it's in your system and you run it from your system, you're not protected from any malware because you have a VPN. A VPN just protects your location, identity, and some other stuff, but does not protect you from the
data that's being transmitted to.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so for the purpose of people who don't know what VPN means, it's virtual private network. It's a software, a tool that helps with most people use it for anonymity on the web, but it's also used for secure communication. So it's like a tunnel where you can communicate securely on the internet. So that's what a VPN is. I'm going to move on to the next question. It's an anonymous attendee. It says here, can you still have a session when the person is disconnected from the internet? So when like,
Yeah, I get the correction. It's called persistence. Yes, there's something like that. Like it's called persistence. Basically, you write a code that runs in memory. So when the person restarts, even if the person goes or shuts down the system, maybe the person puts on the system back, maybe the system boots up, the malware or the virus or the Trojan still boots up again. So yes, it is possible. It is very, very possible. It's called a persistent virus or a persistent malware. It is very possible, yes.
Awesome. So we're going to go on to Moses' question. Moses is asking, he's actually first beating you. Hope you are fine, Mo. And he goes ahead to say, how do you solve the meter-preter closed session? How to solve the meter-preter closed session?
Wow, that's a lot of ways to solve that. Like we can talk about that.
First, do you want to tell people what the meter-preter closed session is, and then sort of try to answer the question without jargon?
Okay. The meter-preter this is a meter-preter. That's the session that opened up after the malware got installed on the system. This session that like allowed me to view all this. That is called a meter-preter session. So there are many reasons why a meter-preter session can be closed. Like there are so many reasons. Sometimes it could be the firewall. The person has a firewall. Sometimes it could be the antivirus. There are lots of reasons. You just have to use the tools to evade detection on firewalls. That is a very complex, out of scope question. We could talk about that one later, Moses. Moses, you could drop your email or your phone number or something, and we could talk about that one later. Confidence, you there? Hello?
The internet just had a mind of its own. Yeah, so you were speaking about meter-preter before.
Yeah, I said this is a meter-preter session. Meter-preter is what allowed me, like, made me able to access the person's system. Like, where I was typing, like, gives you like a command prompt where you can like, this is a meter-preter session. And I was saying there are many reasons why a meter-preter session can be closed. The person could have a firewall, his antivirus could pick up the session. There are so many reasons, and I said it is like not a. There's no specific answer for it. So I said Moses should drop his number or something. I can contact him, or we can talk about that later.
Awesome. Thank you very much. We have another question here from another anonymous attendee, and the person is asking, do I need a firewall for my phone?
That's Android phones, especially Android phones are very vulnerable. They are very vulnerable, but you might not need a firewall per se. You just need a good antivirus. It should cover both for your phone. Yeah, because most times firewalls, your antivirus, your typical Windows firewall, like I showed you, is always on. Your antivirus has its own firewall. So on your system, a firewall is, you don't really need to tweak your firewall that bad on your system. Firewalls are mainly used in like network-based systems. Exactly. So your antivirus should cover both your firewall and
interesting question. She's saying for the demo. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So Glory is saying, thanks very much for the demo. However, do I scan a file sent to me from a trusted person before downloading? So also Moses has dropped his number in the chat. You might want to pick that up. Yes, too. So,
Okay.
but that's a question from Glory.
Yes, like I said, somebody you trust, his system could be compromised. They could have hacked him, and somebody is sending you an email on his behalf just because he knows you trust that person, and you're probably going to open the email.
Exactly.
So yes, no matter what, you should scan your system. You should scan your files. But the issue is usually Gmail has its own, like most email software, email providers, they have their own virus scanners. But like cyber criminals are getting smarter. Nobody's going to attach a virus or an exe file or like the direct malware on the system. Like that, they're going to do it the same way I did. They're going to probably attach a PDF file or a HTML file because that one is going to go easily. And then you have to now click on a link to get it. So most times you might scan the PDF file and it's safe. There's nothing wrong with it. But when you have to download a file, basically PDF, any file, whatever, if you can, which you should, scan it. Trusted, untrusted source, wherever it's coming from. Try to scan it before you open it. It does not cost anything and it can save
Okay,
you
so
a
I'm
lot.
going to share an example. I'm going to share an example, very practical, the one I received today and I analyzed and I found what it was. So it was an invoice and just said here, your new customer invoice is number
Okay, you're
2345.
breaking up.
Hi, please check the attachment. So the tone is also very soft, and it is an Excel file. So when it was, and at first I wasn't even expecting this email. I wasn't expecting an email. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you now. You're breaking up again.
Okay, so I was just speaking about the Excel file I received, or the seemingly Excel file I received that's actually not an Excel file. It was a malware. So just be on the lookout. I also have received something like that around antivirus, stuff like that. So you generally should just be mindful of those. Tosin, you're raising your hand. If you have a question, just drop it in the question and answer area, and we're going to take it up. But we're taking a next question from Emmanuel Dansu. He's asking, what do we do after a malware infection? You sort of answered that question, but he's asking the context of a mobile device. What can be done on a mobile device?
On a mobile device after a malware infection. Yeah, the same thing now. You can still flash your phone on it. You call flashing on a mobile device. After you get your antivirus, you scan, you make sure it's removed, and you have your backups. You make your backups. Make sure you always have your backups. Just make sure you always have your backups. And after that, you can do a hard reset on your phone. Like wipe the phone, restore factory settings, wipe the whole phone, and restore your backups.
Okay, great. We're going on to the next question. Tosin, be on standby. I will unmute your mic so you can speak after this question. Since you raised your hands a couple of times. What antivirus would you recommend for a Linux Ubuntu system? That's coming from Odeni Olasukomi.
I don't really use Ubuntu. I only use Linux for penetration testing. I don't use an antivirus on it, so I can't really answer that right now. But I can check out. I can look out for it. But I should think the popular. I think there's nothing for Linux, and I should think there's Avast for Linux too. So because they're quite popular. Yeah, I think the popular antivirus, they also come for Linux. They have Linux flavors. Yes.
Okay.
I should think so.
Okay. Tosin, I've just let you speak, or rather I've allowed you to speak. So you can unmute your mic and speak now. Tosin. I can see Ni wants to speak also. So Ni will be the last person we take. Tosin, if you can hear me, you can unmute yourself and just speak. Lakosi, I think you can go since Tosin is not responding. I've just allowed you to speak. So you can unmute your mic since you're raising your hand.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
Yeah, I just want to make a small comment on Linux. If you are using any Linux, Linux is an open source operating system. You don't need any antivirus for it. What you need to do is that you make sure that your Linux running on your system is up to date. You just need to make sure that you update it anytime they release any update. That's what you need. For Linux, Ubuntu, anyone, you don't need antivirus for it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tosin. If you're not going to speak, then we will just call it a day now. Thank you so much, Mo, for sharing with us. I know it took a lot of preparation for you to come on. We're really, really grateful. But before we go, please, I want us all to just do one key thing. I want us all to go on our social media platforms, be it LinkedIn or Twitter, and just share your feedback. How was this webinar? How you felt about it, the knowledge, the quality of the knowledge shared here. It basically helps us to show more people that we're sharing a lot of valuable information here for free. So it's just a great thing for you to do. Share and tag us so people can follow us also and get to see our webinars and get to attend our webinars. Thank you very much. But before we go, we have one last question I'm just going to let us take. It's from Moses. He said, how can we protect our from protected payload, as in, an attacker can protect his or her payload by use of evasion techniques. So how can we deal with it?
Yeah, like updates, like basically updates, like your defense is only as good as, how will I put it? Defense is usually reactive. Like you can't find a solution to something when there's no problem yet. That is why Microsoft and antivirus and all those antiviruses, they always release updates, like maybe every Tuesday. Microsoft calls it Update Tuesday. They release 2 updates every other day. So just make sure your updates are up to date. Make sure your system is up to date, your antivirus is up to date. That's all we can do right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mo. Please, when you're dropping your comments on social media or you are posting about this webinar, use the hashtag #HoodOffChat, and also mention logo for Maga. And of course, your shout outs to Mo would be so much appreciated because he spends a lot of time preparing for this. I missed other things that are important to him. Mo, a lot of people are also sharing their feedback and saying thank you, it was another nice webinar, and your pace made it easy to follow up. And I just really want to say thank you from my own self here. Thank you very much. Mo has also dropped his handle on Twitter, Slim Boy. Just follow him and you will learn quite a lot. Even if you're not into cybersecurity, follow him. And if you're into cybersecurity, you even get to learn a whole lot more. Thank you so much, Mo. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining in.
No problem.
All right. Bye for now. Bye, everyone.
Bye.